If you're a heat and air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, what happens if a client doesn't take your recommendation? And why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Bell, coming to you live from Sacramento, California. Perfect day to talk about sales and business. Fantastic day to talk about you on HVAC Technician Sales Secrets. All right, so here's what's going to happen is you are going to roll out to a call and you are going to put in time, energy, effort, risk, and reputation, and possibly money on this call, taking a look and saying like, hey, here's what the opportunities are. And then there's going to be a time where you show your notes, whether on some sort of digital pad or paper or invoice, and say, hey, here's my findings or discovery, and here's my recommendations. And the client's going to look and go, I'm not doing any of that. Okay, there's a couple of reasons for this, and you need to know that sometimes there's good reason. So number one, you may have built way too much rapport, and you got buddy closed. Hey, technician, do I really need to do this? And then like your rapport sets in, you're like, oh, this is my friend. We're going to go fishing and fix cars and go to sports games. And then you go, no, right? And the voice is squishy. Okay, so that's one reason. Number two, it could be that person is just busy right now. Their life is going on. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with them. They're just like, I'm not in decision mode. Right? There is a point in the day where somebody, if they've made too many decisions, is decision fatigue. If they've had too much stuff going on, it's like, it's not important for me right now. I don't care. It has nothing to do with you. And the reason I bring this up is sometimes technicians and even salespeople will start a sales slump from one interaction where somebody doesn't take the recommendation. In a sales process, you may end up at a home and say, oh, your return is too small. And the person will say, hey, well, I've talked to 3 other people. I got 2 other bids. You're my third person, You're my third person, and you're the only person who's brought it up, so I'm not doing it. So it's not always anything that you did, and I'm doing what I can to keep you out of a sales slump and have you realize that there are reasons that may or may not make sense to you. Now, here's the thing. If you want to be better at sales, you want to be good at what you do, you should absolutely join my email publication. Go to hvactechsecrets.com, drop that URL into a browser and put in your name, your email address, maybe your phone number. It's an email publication. You get emails from me. Okay, on this list, sometimes it's a test. And what that test is to see how you react, to see if you freak out, to see if you turn into a giant crybaby. Now, I was writing with a technician one time, and legitimate, there was things that needed to be done, but the technician was trying to force the issue because there was a spiff involved with one of the items. Okay, it happens. It's sales. Get over it, right? Like it's part of what happens in the world. And technician went berserk. Why are you doing this? You don't trust me. You don't like me. It was because time, energy, effort, risk, money, reputation was on the line, and those are all the elements of rejection, but they're also all the elements of regret. And what you need to know is it's okay if a buyer doesn't take your recommendations, except under a couple of circumstances. Life and health. So there are times where you are going to end up and you are going to locate a crack in a heat exchanger, and that crack in that heat exchanger is producing carbon monoxide. Say it with me, monoxide. It's producing carbon monoxide. And so there is a recommendation that either A, that furnace is replaced, or B, that heat exchanger is replaced. I mean, like, that's it. You can do nothing, but it's a health and life issue, okay? Or an electrical issue. So there is low voltage and high voltage in heating and air conditioners and heat pumps. And so it is things to be aware of. Now, if the person chooses to not move forward with a repair or with a fix or with a replacement, the thing that you do is go, hey, like, cool, I totally get it, no problem. I'm just going to make a note on my invoice that I made you aware of everything that's going on. Can you just authorize, sign, notate that we had this conversation, that I highly recommend A, not using the furnace, B, not using the system, whatever it happens to be. And I have to wade through the waters here because every city and jurisdiction and state has a different rule for what happens with a cracked heat exchanger. Some places say it's okay for you to turn it off. Some places say you have to turn it off. Some places say don't ever touch it. you do whatever your state, city, or jurisdiction tells you to do, right? Parish. You do that. I don't know. But if somebody comes to you, they don't have to take your recommendation. And your demeanor, your interaction matters. You got one of three things to do from here. Just one of three, find the subscribe button, click on it. And every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, you know what you got to do. Share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.